We're talking of infection control. The point that we want.
Oh, that's good. It comes to me.
And this was what later on my
Thank you very much. I'm going to compare the continue to be just another.
Yeah, those who are staying there.
Okay.
Skeleton.
Okay.
Okay, overwhelming.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
What you have that room hospital kupira kuti ningita no
This is a national referral center.
no but national but it's
Also district of province.
Hapo batukutenda ne basa la Mungu. Tukutenda. Oh, achangu ya mnywani. Okay. Oh, chief. Thank you.
Almost 2 weeks now. Hey. So that's the first thing. But the Maracha Pai, she then had that very sort of no from the man to still Sakaba.
Skani iri kudiwa hanzi mishini yawakafa. Munhu wacho noikomba asi kubatika chipatara kuti chichibatsirewo hapana. Saka zvakangooma.
Saka vakakwara chii kuenda kuskani?
Vakakwara vakapesana. Mambotombovaona. Pinda muri kuseri.
Yes, ndaona. All right, mune imwe wadu kukambuzuma. Mukati urombo mani aiwa zvinoita zvakanaka. Aiwa mwana wanditungamira.
Munechasire kuti mukaenda kukaranda anokwanisa kubatsira.
Ndo mataura ruta wavo kukaranda kunawonesekekeri kutazamishana saka tazi kuti munhu kuende kubatsirikana.
Baba kauya akambira atumwa naduka
chavangu nalisi vaisapinde nekuvaini operation yatikaisosimu operation yese okunzokuyezvaunda achikuita achazooperate after strike.
The situation is very bad, but we are going to do the assessment as we are yet to talk. As you can see, our road have actually closed down because of the current situation. People are not coming because they realize that they are not getting the relief and the medication and even the attention. So, yes, we are still assessing, but it's not a good situation.
Vanotishandira panyika ino vanorapa upenyu hwedu vakasinda ere vasinda dambo yakuzoonawo kuti zvakamira sei muno. Tinotenda vakadeni. Tinotenda. Thank you very much for the good work you are doing. I appreciate it. Tinotenda. Akomana, munhu wase. Chii chanetsa? Malansi.
Kutogara kudhoneri kadumbu ndakazovandavateri ndandavachogona kuita ndakazovere mhuka ndakabarudiwa ndazvari paimabarudiwa ndikwanise kupinda kwakwavo ndoshandisawo tola nemagirisi ndakutenda saka mari yachani kutowo mapirisi mari yachani ndakatireva kutona grina saka kana chekubata chaite kuziva madhokta akauya kurapiwa uzi mushonga akatenga akabuda neprovision
Well, thank you, colleagues. I've had a very disturbing day on account of what I've seen around. I've been touring government hospitals or public hospitals with a view to assessing the situation on the ground. What is clear is that we have a dire situation, a hazard and a disaster that merits the declaration of this disaster a national disaster. The health situation in the country is a national emergency. It needs immediate rescue measures that can be implemented. Hopefully we have to now look at this issue as a matter of national emergency. I heard of stories at Harare Hospital where in certain wards were actually shut down and closed because of a number of reasons. There's no medication, there are no doctors, and you know that under normal circumstances it is the doctor who admits. So if the doctor is not there, then there's no mechanism for the admission of those patients who are critical. A lot of people are dying. So it's almost like a genocide because you have people who are dying on account of omissions and commissions of those of us in leadership. I take it upon myself to make sure that I will do everything within my power to cause my brother ED Mnangagwa to see that this kind of a crisis, which is political, which is a crisis of governance, which is a crisis of leadership, is costing people's lives. You know, ordinary people do not have any other remedies, whereas those who are in government, those who are in authority and power, those who have access to mechanisms and other measures would go to South Africa, would go to India, would go to China. These ordinary people cannot have any other alternative. So it's a serious issue. But not only that, we also saw that doctors are in difficult circumstances. Our nurses, I was told of nurses who are earning 300 RTGs. I'm sure that's a paltry figure. Doctors, which is almost like $30. Doctors are also earning very mega resources and mega salaries, almost $100. That is an insult to our doctors. And I salute our nurses, I salute our doctors who continue under these very difficult circumstances, continue to be in these zones. These are hostile areas on account of our problems in the country, but they continue to do good work. I was so disheartened that there are doctors who are coming from Cuba, I think about 50. Instead of us paying our doctors and resolving their grievance, we are now importing our doctors. The problem in other countries is that they don't have doctors. That's why they have to import Cuban doctors. But in our situation, we have doctors who need a decent wage, a decent salary, so that they are able to have the dignity of doing their work, the dignity of the profession. Why are we not taking the kind of resources that we have, divert them to the salaries? We are going to be paying Cuban doctors in US dollars. Even if we are not paying for them, assuming that we are not paying for them. They need accommodation, they need transport. We must be able to do things in a proper manner. It's wrong priorities, wrong policies, and wrong politics. We need to look at the situation in our hospitals and do something immediately. All hospitals look deserted. It's almost like there's no life. It's a lifeless situation. It's a hopeless situation. The hospital is supposed to be a reservoir of hope and life. But when you come here, you see evidence of no life, evidence of death, evidence of darkness, evidence of hopelessness. Even the nurses are trying their best, but it's a difficult situation. Something must be done. And we can't continue to do politics on people's bodies. Something has to be done. The country is in the intensive care. People are suffering, they're in the intensive care. And the leadership in this country is in the intensive care, if not in the mortuary. But we must resuscitate it to make sure that we do something for our people. This is a serious issue. I'm just looking at the situation at this general hospital. What more in the rural areas? What more in the remote areas in Sanyati, in Gokwe, Cholocho, even at Mpilo, other areas that are not close? We have to do something about it. I want to thank you. This is a sad situation. I came here because I wanted to have a first-hand account. As you know, my brother Mnangagwa is not around, so I have to make sure that I do work on his behalf, where he's not able.
So you said that you're going to make him see. How are you going to achieve that?
Well, you must know that it's not as if we don't have authority and mandates to push certain issues. We are in parliament, as you know. MDC is the government. The moment you are in parliament as an alternative, you're already the government. As an alternative government, but also as an incoming government. Because if you're an official alternative, the next thing is that you will be in government. So you use that leverage to be able to articulate the alternative. But beyond that, I can also use mechanisms to engage you, to see that this is no longer a joking matter. This is a disastrous situation. You know, the kind of lives we are losing every day. Any minute we delay the resolution of the problems in the country is loss of lives. Leadership is about solving people's problems. Politics is about providing solutions to the people. When politics is not helping and saving lives, it is meaningless politics. And we must depart from meaningless politics. Sloganeering does not feed people. Slogans does not give people hope, does not give people life. It is the kind of delivery that we want to see, and that is what we must be able to address.
I'm sure you've heard that there's been blame on the MDC from government, where they're saying that you're the ones who are sabotaging them, looking for sanctions, and what is your response to that issue?
Well, we don't have the luxury of going fishing when the house is on fire. The situation in the country is so bad. We can't afford to be finger pointing. And you must always remember, the moment you point a finger at another, 4 of your fingers are pointing at yourself. So we don't want this ostrich mentality of burying the sand, your head in the sand. And also this mindset of thinking that you always have enemies around. We're not the only people who have opposition or enemies. But we must focus on building, rather than focusing on the negative energy of pursuing those who are chasing us, if they are angry. We have to come back to the drawing board and address the issues that people are facing. Our health issues, education, water right now. It must be declared a national disaster, a humanitarian situation. Instead of finger pointing, this is not about the local authorities, because local authorities do not have the reserve bank. So they don't have foreign currency. Local authorities do not deal with procurement. It is dealt with by PRAS. Local authorities do not deal with the OPC, which is controlled by the central government. And we need to be able to confront these issues head on. Water is managed, dams are managed by the central government, not by our local authorities. So these issues require a collective approach. And that's why we've said, let's fix our politics to fix our hospitals. We can't be open for business when our hospitals are shut for treating people. There's no business here. There can be no other business if hospitals are not functioning.
They say they're talking at Pollard, and they say that you're not coming there. That you're not coming is the biggest problem.
We are not interested in side shows. The main show is the addressing of the fundamental issues, the crisis in the country, which is the crisis of governance, and that's what we must focus on. We are ready to make sure that this issue is resolved, because we are pained. We don't want to be a leadership over dead bodies. We don't want to be superintending a country that is full of cemeteries and dead bodies. It doesn't make sense. We want people to be in good life, in good health. That is our preoccupation. And that's why we must be able to address doctors' issues. As of yesterday, money is there. It's only that it's going to the wrong places. And there's appetite in the wrong places. But we must have money being taken where it is supposed to be taken.
Can you define the wrong places for us?
Mr. Mnangagwa and his team. Government is not supposed to be taking too much money. If there is austerity, austerity must be exemplary and be shown on the government, not on ordinary people. You can't be flying business class, first class, and you say we are having austerity. You can't be hiring jets and say we must have austerity. How much does it cost for one senior government official to be treated at a foreign hospital? Is that not millions? And can we take those millions and put them at Parenyatwa, at Harare hospital, to improve the situation?
You mentioned that you're going to show them the situation, their situation at the hospitals. Do you think that it's a matter of them not being aware, or it's a matter of them having reached a position where they can't do anything about it? After you show them, do you think that they're going to be doing anything about it?
Well, it's no longer about thinking. We must now be acting. And what you have to do is to act and do something about it. We'll spend a lot of time thinking, arguing, dialoguing about dialogue, talking about talks. The country is burning. The country is on fire. We must eliminate and extinguish the fire so that we are able to move into saving lives. This is not a joking matter. So I hope everyone who is serious, who have to see and understand. And you know the people are watching. If they see that leadership has abrogated responsibility, people will take power within their own hands. And ultimately, all authority resides with the people. So we must do something. Young people are out there, they are agitated, they are anxious. They need jobs. They need good health. They need good education. They need to be finding answers. They need prices that are stable. They need water. They need opportunity. They need luxury. They need to also enjoy.
Earlier on, you had a challenge with the CEO of Harare Hospital. What is your view in terms of civil servants who appear to be taking the stance?
I don't think that there was a challenge. They were doing their job. They must always guard their territory. They were just marking their territory. I understood them. You know, the fact that I'm president of a country does not mean that I must also undermine them. I respect them because they are also in their area of jurisdiction. So I respect them for that. And I honor them for protecting their job. That's what we want from our civil service. Do your work and do it passionately, professionally, so that you serve the people. Thank you. God bless you very much.